Do you like D&D? Do you like pirates? Do you like video games? Wouldn't it be so nice if all of them could just come together in one sweet little package? Today we're going to have a little quick highlight about Flint, Treasure of Oblivion. Now, this game is quite interesting because you start off as a quote-unquote Captain Flint in a pretty bad little situation. Makes you think of like Pirates of the Caribbean, for example. And one of the first things you have to do is almost eat your own crew, which is pretty hardcore way to start. Either way, you end up getting captured by French people who are looking for you, and they throw you in a brig. Things aren't really so good, you go to prison. Naturally, you have a little bit of a rustle-tussle in there, and you break your way out. I gotta say, combat in this game is a little... It's hex-based. It's fairly simple to get into, but there's also some difficulties along with it. The fact that there's a card system, which makes options a little bit more varied, which is really interesting. Plus, you can also use the environment to your advantage, such as rolling barrels. In some cases, you can even drop on dudes and just straight up knock them out, or even kill them. Pretty hardcore. Later on in the game, you'll be gathering your crew, and there's a variety of different classes that are aboard your ship. It's really interesting, and they're all varied in different ways, have different abilities and skills, usually in the form of cards yet again. Also depends on the kind of equipment they're allowed to carry. Now, I don't want to spoil too much of the story, because I gotta say, it's pretty interesting actually, especially recruiting some of the people in town. I thought that was a really nice little touch. Gotta say that one of my favorite parts about it so far is the music in the town. I don't know what it was about it, but man, I was jamming out to that for a good hour. It was incredible. Really good bass line. I've really been enjoying it. I've thrown at least a couple hours into it so far. I'm really looking forward to see where the rest of the story is going to go. I don't want to spoil too much more of it for you, so I just kind of gave you some of the intro highlights, especially past the tutorial stage. I do find the combat to be a little tricky to get really good at, because as I've noticed, a lot of the enemies have weaponry and more capabilities than my crew do, but yet again, it's early stages for my guys. I don't have a whole lot of stuff to work with, plus I'm still kind of figuring out all the mechanics. I wish it were a little easier to kind of figure that out, but to be fair, I suppose I could be paying a little bit more attention to the tutorial, but they do have helpful hint boxes that I can always look through and guides. It just, I've had to repeat a couple of fights quite a number of times, and I gotta be honest, it was a little rough. Maybe I'm just not the most strategic or forward-thinking person, but, you know, in some fights, though, I kicked butt, and it's been great. I've really been enjoying the parts of it. It's got a lot of really interesting comic panel dialogue moments, some really interesting looking cutscenes. The graphics are really nice. Gameplay, I mean, to be fair, is really smooth. Loading screens don't take long at all. I've not been having any kind of real gripes with the game, just the fact of the difficulty of some of the battles and not being the best with the tools and utilities at my disposal. You will encounter a lot of interactables in the world, which a lot of them will give you cards, which yet again go into the various tabs of your inventory stages, such as galley, crew. You also have to obviously divvy up loot, because naturally your guys want to get paid, and that's totally understandable. It's really nice. They even give you a little slider to kind of see how fair you want to be as a crew, as a pirate captain. I think that's great. I've really enjoyed my time playing Flint, and I'm really glad that I've had this opportunity. And I sure hope you'll be able to check it out as well. It's currently available on Steam. I believe it's also available on some consoles, if I remember right. I'm going to put a thing up on the screen anyway. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you for whatever's next.